Better World Blueprint. Good humans doing good things.
We're almost at the end of the year. And I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. Just when I think I can't do another thing on my to-do list, I chat to someone for this podcast. Someone who's working hard to make the world a better place. And I perk up because that's what hope gives us, energy. I'm Siobhan Hunt, here to share the stories that lift us up. Welcome to A Better World Blueprint. What role does music play in your life? Is it the soundtrack that accompanies you to work? Or maybe it's the soft tunes that send you off to sleep. However it shows up in your life, our connection to music can bring us joy, peace, sometimes even freedom. Millie Petriella is someone who spent her life lifting up songwriters. Through initiatives like Vanda and Young Global Songwriting Competition and the SongHubs songwriting camps, she's supported emerging artists. She spent nearly 30 years at the Australasian Performing Rights Association, or APRA, helping build their global footprint. And in 2024, she received an Order of Australia medal for her huge contribution to music. Most recently, she co-founded the Volume Foundation, a venture that aims to support Australian artists on a global scale, creating a ripple effect that aims to breathe life into our local music industry. This is my chat with Managing Director of the Volume Foundation, Millie Petriella. Welcome to A Better World Blueprint.
Good morning. Oh, no, good afternoon, Siobhan.
What time of the day is it? We never know.
Where are we?
Now, I know you've been involved with the music industry, but I'm really curious about the Volume Foundation. What led you to starting the foundation? Was there a wake-up moment? Was there a point in time where you just thought, okay, this is what I want to do?
I've had a few wake-up moments in my career, those pinnacle points where you have to pivot, as they like to say now. A man by the name of Albert Kruger, who was the CEO of Mardi Gras when I was working at APRA, he and I worked together on a project called Express Yourself, Queer Discovery. And we worked really well together. We went out nationally and found some queer talent and gave them the opportunity to perform on a stage with some judges. And then the winners were provided with an opportunity to perform at Mardi Gras when he was CEO. And he loved it so much. He left Mardi Gras and didn't really know where he was going for a minute. And we reached out to one another. It was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm unemployed. I'm like, I'm just doing projects. What are we going to do? And then the next minute he messaged me and said, I'm starting a distillery. I'm going to make gin and vodka and I'm going to put a percentage of the revenue into a foundation and I want you to run that. We'll do it together and that money is to go to artists to help them further their career.
Can you talk to me about what that means to you to invest in creatives? As you mentioned, you've worked at APRA before, but in this context where you're independent and you're supporting upcoming artists, why is that important to you?
I know I keep talking about money, but money is obviously really important. And to be able to make a difference, a real difference to a career for a mid-career artist who has done a bit of legwork overseas, to give them that next leg up where they can really go and expand their audience and continue that growth in that territory. As sad as it is that our Aussies have to go overseas, but they do really to have a major career. And this for me feels like, how do I say this? Being able to do it without having a board of 12 people telling me how or what I'm not allowed to do. Oh, that's naughty of me. But, like this, I have a board. The foundation has a board, but they are not putting any barriers up. And this is what we really wanted. We wanted no barriers. We wanted to give the creators access to this funding and for them to utilize it in a way that best serves them. And also a lot of grants and government funding come with a lot of eligibility criteria. A lot of them are matched funding, and believe me, the amount of funding that is now available is extraordinary and I love it. But we just wanted to have a bit of a different model. There's no way we're going to make a big dent in the industry, but even if I help one, I'm really happy.
How hard is it for artists to continue to make their music when they don't have that kind of support that your foundation's offering?
It is so hard and it's heartbreaking. My entire career has been spent connecting people, trying to find funding, trying to find a champion for them to provide a gateway, a path into wherever it is they want to go. There's only a small percentage that are backed by publishers and record labels. They do a great job. They're limited to what they're able to do as well. Each of us plays such an important role, and I feel that there are people that fall through the cracks. And I don't think that the general public understands how everything is changing. So 1.5% of music that is loaded up onto Spotify, 1.5% has any kind of marketing behind it and anyone gets to hear it. 1.5%. And then let's not talk about the royalty that comes from a stream. It's minutia in comparison to what it used to be. We now have the issue of AI. What part of AI that's been created digitally was created by a human? How does that human be acknowledged for that? How does that human be not only credited for it, but also how can they monetize that? And that's the big conversation now, obviously, in the music industry. I think it's the big conversation in every industry.
Did you feel, stepping into this role, that your previous work and your many projects that you're currently doing helped you in terms of how you're going to make this all happen? Or were there areas where it was completely unknown?
I woke up one morning and said, "What the hell are you doing? You have no idea what you're doing." And then I have this thing, this confidence that just comes across, and if you don't know it, you're going to go and learn it, and you're going to learn how to do it. I'm a bit bullish, and sometimes I don't sit back and read and digest and research. I go crazy. So they're my stumbling blocks when I get a little arrogant and a little bullish, and off I go. And I have to remember that I'm bringing along a team and that I'm trying to do the best I can for a bunch of creatives, and I have to listen.
Yeah. You mentioned there that being a bit gung-ho was something that has caused you to stumble. Were there any major examples of this, I guess, that caused you to stop and reflect and go, oh, hold on a minute, I need to back up a little bit?
So I remember that we had to do those 360-degree, those appraisal things, those things that you do. And I cried when I read what my staff were saying about me. Millie never says no. She just says yes to everything. She never takes us into consideration, or the resourcing, or the fact that we can't deliver it. And I'm like, I don't say no. With my vocabulary. But that's been my main issue in my career, to be honest.
Has doing this work changed you?
Yes. The minute that I made a sustainable career in the back end of supporting creators, it changed my life and it changed the trajectory of my life. I knew I had a connection to music, and I'm not a creator. Like, I don't write. I did sing as a young girl in all the school, shows. And after I saw The Sound of Music 50 times and Grease 32 times, I knew that music was something that used to make me feel really good.
In what way would you say it changed your life?
I started having a love affair with creators. They intrigue me. I idolize them. I don't know how they do what they do. And I want to be the person. Oh, it makes me cry. I want to be the person that allows them to do it for a living, and I want to make a difference in their career.
Have you been able to see the impact of your work on any individual?
Oh, yeah. Just providing connections to people ad hoc, introducing people to fellow songwriters and producers overseas, that in itself is something that takes 5 trips to do, right, to get that connection. So those introductions are really important. So building my networks, giving them those connections just opened massive pathways. Troye Sivan did my first London SongHubs in 2014. He's a global sensation. We knew when we walked into the studio, he was 17 years old and he was commanding that room. He knew exactly who he was. He knew exactly what he wanted to hear. He knew exactly what he wanted to say. And he had a style and an air about him that I get goosebumps even now thinking about it. And watching that process, just watching and listening and seeing, they talk about the X factor, and you can just see it and you can feel it when you're in the presence of. SongHubs not only earned, in the time that I was doing it, over $7 million in royalties for the songs that came out. 2,000 songs released, new songs released. Just watching careers blossom, producers move overseas. I remember calling Tushar, who's one of my favourite producers who lives in LA, the day he was selected to do our SongHubs in Canada. And I called him the day that he decided that he'd been in LA for 6 years and he was giving up and he was packing up and coming home. And I called him and said, "You've been selected. We're flying you there. You're doing the SongHubs." And he wrote Chris Brown's next single.
Wow.
And he then signed the biggest publishing deal he's ever signed, still in LA. And he talks about that day being the day that changed his life trajectory, career path. He's still there. He's now on the board of the foundation.
Millie, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thanks, Siobhan. It's easy to talk to you.
Managing Director of the Volume Foundation, Millie Petriella. You'll find links to the foundation in the notes of this episode. I'm Siobhan Hunt. See you next time on A Better World Blueprint.